gonna get messy today.
Why?
We're making lasagna. Specifically, sausage lasagna. This is the best lasagna recipe I've ever eaten in my life.
Sausage lasagna is the best type of lasagna.
Absolutely delicious. And it's super easy to make. Last time we made it, it was messy, but it was just layering and layering.
And layering, but it's so worth it, and you get like a bunch of meals out of it because you get a whole pan of lasagna. P.S. This lasagna also has mushrooms in it. If you like mushrooms, this is a dream. If you don't like mushrooms, then just forget that I ever mentioned mushrooms in this recipe and only make it with the sausage. You can just eliminate the mushrooms from your mind and from your heart and from your belly.
Sounds good.
So there are some steps before we start layering this lasagna and making a mess. Only a few steps. Basically, you need to cook off your sausage. So I had some Italian sausages. I just took them out of the casing and then...
this is the only way to crumble sausage. Take it out of that casing.
Yes.
So good.
Take it out of the casing and crumble it, and you get this amazing, beautiful sausage. Show the people.
Stir it around a little bit.
And it takes about 10 minutes to just cook it. You don't need to add any oil to a pan. Just keep heating it through until it turns nice and brown.
Yum.
And then while the sausage is cooking, that's when you want to prepare the mushrooms,
yes,
if you're doing mushrooms. So I have some porcini mushrooms here. They're dried porcini mushrooms. They smell very, very funky, and you can't buy porcini mushrooms that aren't dried. So what you need to do is reconstitute them. You basically just pop them into a bowl of hot water, and you can just kind of stir them around just like that, and then they're going to come back to life in about 20 minutes or so, maybe 15 minutes.
Cool.
So we're just gonna set those aside. Again, you can cook your sausage while the mushrooms are reconstituting.
Very good. Sausage is cooked.
Yes.
Dry creminis are reconstituted.
Yes.
And hydrated. And so now we want to cook these with the regular mushrooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a little bit of olive oil here.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna grab my mushrooms and my porcinis, my dried porcinis that are reconstituted. I'm gonna drain them just with my hand, and then I'm gonna throw them right into that pot with a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
And then I also have just some regular baby bella mushrooms, aka cremini mushrooms,
okay,
that are just sliced. You can just get them in the grocery store pre-sliced. And I'm gonna throw them in our pot too, because that nice blend of mushrooms is gonna be the perfect touch. It's like that
totally agree. I love it.
Meaty and earthy touch from both types of mushrooms. So we're just gonna cook this off for about 4 to 5 minutes, just until the mushrooms are nice and wilted.
Okay.
Mushroom down. Boop. Oh, and more. How are they looking?
Fantastic. So these are wilted?
They're good to go. Look at this beautiful assembly. It's gorgeous.
Easy peasy. This is the fun part, and this is where also it gets messy. But
yeah, I
also
feel
an
like,
exact science to do this, right?
Yes, look at our outfits, just pointing out. We're both in light colors.
That's why I rolled the sleeves up today, though.
Can I spatter you with sauce?
Maybe.
Okay, so starting off, we do have our sausage and our mushrooms cooked. Last little preparation is I have some ricotta cheese. You can use part skim or whole milk ricotta. Either one works. And some Parmesan cheese or Parmesan Reggiano here. And if you want to scoop this, I realize I put this in this tiny little bowl to mix eggs into, and I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, came out clean.
Oh, wow. That was good.
So you want to stir this up a little bit?
Stir it up with 2 eggs. And 2 eggs here, the eggs are going to bind. So you just want to mix together your ricotta and some Parmesan cheese and eggs together, because that's going to bind together your ricotta so it doesn't run out of your lasagna.
Smart.
It is key.
Okay.
So once that's mixed, then it's time to layer. And as Eric mentioned, it's kind of an exact science. So I've been perfecting this recipe for so long that I have a little cheat sheet for all the layers.
What's first?
So first off, we have our little pan here. We have a 9x13 pan. That's probably the best size for lasagna. It's greased. You wanna make sure it's greased really well so that way your lasagna doesn't stick to it when you're trying to get it out. So we're gonna start off with a cup of tomato sauce on the bottom.
So tomato sauce on the bottom, why do you do that?
That way the noodles don't stick to the bottom. You know how
Smart.
like, even if you grease it, the tomato sauce helps so it doesn't stick on the bottom. So you can go ahead and do
How much?
a cup. And again, I highly recommend sticking with the recipe on tastefullygrace.com because it really is a science.
Yeah, that is fair.
And then you can take like a spoon and just kind of like make sure it's in a layer.
Level, okay.
And then on top of that, we're going to add a layer of no boil pasta, lasagna noodles. No boil is the way to go. You don't have to boil the pasta before you layer the lasagna.
Why do that? Just throw it right on, right?
And it works just as well.
Okay.
So just wanna do a single layer and you can kind of overlap them a little bit just so you don't get like a whole bite without any noodles. And if you're
It's like
getting
a puzzle.
close to the corner, you can just break them.
Nice.
Just like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect because the layers are gonna be a little messy.
Right.
On top of that, I'm cheating. We're gonna do 1/3 of the ricotta mixture.
Okay.
So again, you don't need to like get your measuring tools out, but you can just do about 1/3
Of a cup?
of, about 1/3 of the entire ricotta
I understand.
mixture.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I think that's about right.
Even this out here.
And again, you know, it gets really messy.
Yeah, it does.
You're gonna get your hands all dirty. On top of the ricotta mixture, we're gonna do half of the crumbled sausage.
My fave part.
So you're gonna take that sausage.
Sorry.
Would you like me to bring this right to your mouth?
Oh my gosh, please. Okay, throw it on there.
And we're just gonna add half of your sausage right on the top. Oh,
Beautiful.
My necklace is making noise. Ready? And make sure that's nice and even so each bite gets some of that sausage. And then on the top of that, we have 2 cups of shredded mozzarella.
Oh yeah.
So that's about half of the mozzarella that you should have portioned out for this recipe. So we're just gonna do cheesy goodness right on the top. I like to use mozzarella. You could also use like a Asiago or something like that.
Asiago.
Asiago.
Okay, beautiful.
Lovely. On top of the shredded mozz, we're gonna do 1 more cup of sauce.
Okay.
That was not a cup.
Oh, was it?
A cup is the full cup. Eric.
Sorry.
And that's perfect. You don't need to try to like really kind of smooth it out. Just like,
Just leave it
you
like
know,
that?
a little bit.
Okay.
There we go. And then on top of that, we're just gonna sprinkle
Parm?
this with some parm. Just a little sprinkle. And the parm is really more for flavor. It's not gonna give you that like stringy cheese.
True.
Then on top of that, we're gonna add another layer of lasagna noodles, again, overlapping a little bit. And then on top of that, we're gonna do 1/3 of that ricotta mixture. So another 1/3. So we're gonna put all of our mushrooms down. If you're doing mushrooms, this is when you wanna add them.
This is my favorite part.
And just make sure you drain them because you're gonna get a lot of that extra liquid because mushrooms have so much liquid going
Need none of that
on.
liquid.
So I'm just gonna drain. What was that? And if you can just kind of mix those around and make sure it's in a single layer.
Single file line, everybody.
There you go. More sauce. Oh, look at.
Oops. Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. So then we're gonna add more sauce, about 1.5 cups going on. So we're actually gonna have to, oh, what's going on? This is getting messy.
That's the point of it. Look at how beautiful this looks though. Gorgeous.
And then I'm gonna add the rest of my Parmesan cheese. Another little layer.
Literal layer. Okay.
So what are you doing here?
Just finishing up with some lasagna.
Did you consult?
I did. I consulted.
Yes. Okay, so now we're gonna add the rest of our ricotta mixture on the top, and I'll have you give it a nice spread.
Sure. Look at this.
Ooh. You can't beat ricotta. Okay, so then we're gonna do the remaining sausage on top of this.
No problem.
So that's a lot of sausage.
Throw her in there. Oh.
What's next?
Tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce. So you just want to add another cup of tomato sauce. That was a bad pour.
Oh, sorry, love.
Okay, and then on top of that, we want to do a final layer of lasagna noodles. Right on the top of that sauce.
Okay.
Oh, listen. Have we made enough of a mess here?
I know. Seriously. Go ahead.
Okay, so last step here is we just want to add any leftover sauce that we have. So it's about a cup of sauce.
Beautiful.
Right on the top. And then the final step is some mozzarella cheese. So we're gonna do about 2 cups on the top, which is about half of your mozzarella cheese.
Look at this thing.
In this recipe.
Okay.
So load it up with that cheese so that the cheese gets nice and golden brown in the oven. Is it heavy enough?
20 pounds of lasagna.
Okay, so you're gonna carry this to the oven. We're going to cover it with aluminum foil and we're gonna cook it at 375 for an hour and 15 minutes. At an hour and 15 minutes, we're gonna take the foil off and cook it for another 10 minutes just to let it get nice and golden brown
crispy.
On the top.
Oh, let's go.
You know, it's so funny. In the 10 minutes that this lasagna was supposed to be resting and we weren't supposed to be touching it, we attacked it. So it kind of looks like a dog.
Dog attack of lasagna.
So can we eat now?
Cheers, my love.
We've already tried it.
You've tried it.
The secret. I don't even want to talk.
Every layer can be tasted. It is so good.
Is this like not the best lasagna of life?
Yes.
Little delayed reaction. Goodbye.
It's time to eat this entire pan of lasagna.
And we will, for sure. Check this out on tastefullygrace.com.
You won't regret it. See ya. Your mic. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Meow. Do you like it?
Come on. Yeah, you were mean to me. You need to apologize to me.
You're very muscular. Woo!
The mic's touching you, love. Crazy.